Hi, good afternoon, and welcome back to my channel, Electrified Addictions. So anyway, today I believe is April 10th, 2026. So anyway, welcome back to my channel, and anyways, I had a choice between two bikes today. It was the Zork Z6, which I sold. The man gave me a deposit on the bike. And I told him I won't ride it. I said, until you pay it in full, it'll sit right here. It's got a 70% charge, so the cells are stable in the battery. So anyway, I was going to ride that bike today, but like I said, I'd rather not because I promised the man that it would just sit until he paid it in full. So today we're going to be on my ebicycol. And this is a full suspension, dual motor, 5,000 watt electric bicycle. And this bike I put a lot of work into. I put a lot of work into the suspension and the swing arm setup I redid myself. There's shock bushings in here that run right through, and then there's a shock bushing down here which is shorter. So this shock bushing works on either side, which I had laying around separately, and I just drilled out the threads that they originally came with because it was like a shank bolt. It had a shank sleeve and then a thread on the other side which squeezed and I didn't like the design. I mean, that's what they did from factory. So by drilling the back side out carefully and nice and slow with a nice sharp bit, because it is only aluminum alloy 6061, and I put a shock sleeve bushing through here, and I used a washer, then there's a rubber garment, two more washers, just to get a little bit of squeeze, not too tight, just to make it tight enough to where there's no slop and no play. And my design is better than what it was from factory. So anyway, this bike has a 180 millimeter rotors, and they are front and rear. Let's turn the light on in here. There we go, a little better. And it's a beautiful day outside today. And I do live out in the country, and I love it. There's a view of the outside. Backyard. I actually mowed grass yesterday for the first time. So it is a gorgeous day. It was a little windy this morning, but it's starting to die down a little bit as the day goes on. And we're supposed to approach about 60 degrees today, which will be perfect for biking. It is absolutely gorgeous up here. Now, I do live in the state of New Jersey. And I'll tell you, once you drop into town, there's like no wind. But up here, the wind gusts anywhere between like 30, I've already seen 70 mile an hour gusts of wind up this way. So anyway, back to the bike. And I want to thank you all for joining me this beautiful Saturday afternoon on March 10th. And this is a bike from ebicycol, ebicycol. And when I bought this or purchased this bike on Amazon, it didn't really list the name of the bike, the frame itself. It was only categorized as a 5,000 watt dual motor bicycle with 220 newton meters of torque. And what really caught my eye was the speed, the size of the controller in the box, and also the battery, because it is a 32 amp hour battery with Samsung cells. And it is marked 52 volt, 32 amp hours, and they are using high quality discharge, and it gives you that performance. So this bike is really awesome. I mean, for what you're getting and for what I paid for this bike, and I've done a lot of wire management. I kept it all nice and neat. I rewired everything. I redid the handlebars. I even wrapped the cable here because sometimes this cable would end up in the front and catch on your lockout. And I wrapped all this nice and neat up through here. And this bike has a D&M air suspension that I purchased through Amazon. And of course I have a bike alarm. And it also has a finder on it, so if you hit the key pod, it'll chirp. And I also put a chain protector sleeve on the frame. And these are cheap. You can get a 2-pack of those for like $7. I mean, it's worth to protect the frame, which is pretty cool. And there is a 40 amp controller in the box, as I said. And I drilled numerous of holes so that way air passes through and keeps it cool. And I also did the 1132 upgrade on the rear sprocket. And this bike is a 7-speed. And it is a tourney derailleur. And up front, I call it a Mickey Mouse shifter. And a beautiful phone holder. And we are sitting at, let's see, I have 380 miles on this bike so far. And it is like a year old. Let's see if we can tune in here a little better. And I am sitting at 57.7 volts. So it is just yesterday I bought it up to a full charge. So now they do say you can bring it up to a full charge as long as you're going to use it within the 24 hours. You can let it sit for a day or two, but don't ever bring your bike up to a full charge and let it sit for no more than a day or two. You have to use it because there's a lot of power inside these battery packs, and that's where accidents happen. And also, when you charge these batteries after you're done using it, I usually wait till the next morning till I charge it, or at least wait. They say a half hour to an hour, but I usually wait till the next day and let the cells settle down and balance out. And also, when you put it on charge, you plug the battery or you plug the charger into here first and then into the outlet. Don't plug it into the outlet and then into the battery. You'll short something out. And just the opposite when you unplug it first and then from the battery. So yeah, we're almost at 400 miles on this beast. And she's been really reliable. It's an awesome, comfortable, it fits my body well. And the only thing it doesn't have is turn signals. But it has very bright rear light when you hit the brakes. And it also has very bright lights when you turn them on. And the rear light is integrated with the brake. So when you hit the brake, this will light up even brighter. And the front headlight. And the front headlight on this it's bright. So it gives you a lot of visibility at night. And of course, with the extra light on top that I have, I can blind people in their cars with this bike. And so anyway, thank you all for joining me. And we're going to get out today. Since it's going to be like 60 degrees. And I'll do a little short ride, a video. And tomorrow I'm going to plan a long ride. So tomorrow I'm going to plan probably a 25 to a 30 mile trip. And we'll see how far we can go. And Alright. So my next video when I see you and I'm heading out, and I'm going to post this one for now. And yeah, and the kickstand has actually been holding up because these kickstands, this bike, you know, is not really that heavy, but it's heavy enough. And I'm probably going to upgrade that later on if something happens to this one, and I do keep all my bikes clean. And yes, I do clean the sidewalls of my tires as long as it's not on the treads. And I use a, I guess you would call, like a polymer on the frame. So these bikes come like a matte black, but from over time of me cleaning it, I mean, I got it shiny. I mean, this thing is tits, yo. Yeah, she cleaned up nice. And so this bike looks better now since I've gotten it out of the box from waxing it and cleaning it. And so, you know, you can, even though it's a matte black finish, you can buff a shine to it. So now it almost looks like a jet or a gloss black, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and this bike cost me $1,400 plus all my upgrades. You know, I did the neck and all the work on the handlebars. So you gotta be handy. You know, if you're handy and you got a little bit of an electrical background, these bikes are awesome. There's no gas, there's no oil. I mean, and this bike here, I have a feeling that I've never done a range test, but I had 24 miles on here yesterday, and I only used 20% of my battery. So that's amazing. So that means after almost 24 miles, I still had an 80% charge. So there's no doubt in my mind that I cannot get over 50 miles just using the rear motor. But now if you put it in dual motor and you're constantly just in dual motor, and depending on the hills, you'll probably get 25 miles. You might even get 30. So hey, you know, just a short video here until I get outside. And thank you all for watching, and you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Peace. Stay safe.